Today, let's talk about the best features. For Windows 10, I'm going to cover 10 tips and tricks that will make your life a lot easier. Tip number 1: AeroShake. AeroShake gives you the ability to close all the windows except the one that you have selected. If you click on the header portion on the top of a window and then shake it back and forth, it closes all the windows behind it. Shake it again and it brings him back. That is AeroShake. Tip number 2: hide desktop icons with one click. This is a quick one. It's a feature I use a lot. It's to hide icons on my desktop. This is specially useful for me when I do a screencast or give a presentation. To hide all your icons, right-click on the desktop and select View. You see Show Desktop Icons. It's owned by default, but if you uncheck it, your icons on desktop disappear. When you're ready to bring them back, just select it again to put back the check. Tip number 3: I want to show you how you could use emojis very easily on Windows 10 to bring up the Emoji Picker. All you need to do is press the Windows logo key, together with this semicolon key at the same time, and that will bring up this. This is the Emoji Picker. Now I have all my recent emojis and I could go through and however I want to communicate my feelings and my emotions. I can choose an emoji that represents that. Here you see a very wide variety. All I need to do is click on the emoji and that'll insert it into my document. It will insert it into a comment on YouTube. If you want to test this out right now within the comments for this video, feel free to leave an emoji. I think that'd be kind of cool to see what emoji you pick out. Tip number 4: you can very easily take a screen capture on your computer or using an app that comes pre-installed with Windows 10. It's called this Snip and Sketch tool. Now there are 2 different ways you can launch it. You could go down to your taskbar and you can type in Snip and Sketch, and that will show up in the best match. Alternatively, you can press the Windows logo, key Shift and S at the same time, and that will also launch the Snip and Sketch tool. Now I've launched the tool. You can take a rectangular snip freeform. You could take a snip of a window, or you can even do just a full screen snip. Here, I'm going to take a snip of this window, and let's take a look and see what this looks like once I open it up. It brings it into the Snip and Sketch tool, and I could annotate it, highlight it, I can mark it up or crop it, and then I can export it as any file type if I want to add, say, arrows or a text on top of it. I can copy and paste it into Microsoft Paint and then make additional edits. So I'm very nice tool, especially if you want to take screen captures on your computer. Tip number 5: you can open multiple desktops on Windows 10. How do we do that? Down on the taskbar. Let's open up the task view. When we open up the task view, this will show me all the different windows that I have open on my computer, and up in the top left hand corner there's an option to add a new desktop. Let's click on that. This opens up desktop number 2. So here I have my current desktop. Now I could jump to desktop 2 and I have a clean window. So maybe you want to separate your work from your personal, or maybe your school. You can keep everything in its own independent window. When I open up the task view again, if I no longer need a window, I can click on this Max and that will now close the desktop, and I'm not just limited to 2 desktops. I can add any number of desktop. Tip number 6 is dark mode. Windows is pretty bright, and especially when it's late at night. It might be nice to relax your eyes a little bit. So how do we turn it darker? Let's go down to the taskbar and within the search field, let's type in dark mode. You'll see a best match for color settings. Let's click on this within color settings. We can choose our color. Let's click on this drop-down list. You can go with a light theme for Windows 10, which has been the standard for a long time, or now you can switch into a dark mode. Custom allows you to do a mix of the two, where you can set the Windows mode to light or dark, and you could choose the default app mode to light or dark. Let's click into dark. This now changes Windows 10 to dark mode and all other Windows 10 apps that run on Windows 10 respect the setting that you selected Windows. So all of your different app experiences should now be in dark mode. Tip number 7. Did you know that Windows 10 comes with its very own voice recorder and it works fairly well? Go down to search again and let's type in voice recorder, and here you'll see the voice recorder app. Let's click into this. This opens up the voice recorder and I can click on this microphone icon to kick off over recording. I'm now actively recording. I could pause the recording. I could even flag a spot in the recording. So here I'm going to add a marker. So let's say I'm sitting in a lecture. Or maybe I'm conducting an interview and the person says something especially interesting. I can add a marker once I'm all done. I'll click on stop. This brings it into my main recording list. When I click on it, it'll play back the recording. I could change the recording, I could delete it, I could rename it, or I could share it with others. A fairly powerful app that's easy to miss. Tip number 8. Troubleshooter. Windows 10 comes with built-in troubleshooting tools. Start settings, update and security troubleshoot. There is a recommended troubleshooting tool that runs in the background and notifies you when it detects any problems. You can set it to one of these 3 settings to run automatically in order to warn you before. Right. We can also come down here to additional troubleshooters and see a list of common problems with different devices on your Windows 10 computer. For example, if you have a problem with your internet connectivity, from this troubleshooter, it scans, detects any problems, and gives you some recommendations of how to fix it. Many different tools available for the different devices in Windows. So if you have any problems with any of those particular devices, coming here and run the manual troubleshooting tool and you may be able to correct it yourself. Tip number 9. Calendar event. In the latter part of 2019, Microsoft added a calendar event to the taskbar in Windows 10. To access it, just come down to the time, click on it, and now you can add an event or reminder directly to your calendar. Put in a test. You can select the time and add a location and hit save. It adds that event to your calendar. If you double-click, it takes you to the calendar app where you can see our event. If you highlight it and view the event, you can add it even further with details about the event description. You can invite other users, can send them an invite request. You can change the reminder timeline, mark it as busy, free, tentative or out of office, and even delete this event. We'll save it, and now that it's on my calendar, I can use it just like any other calendar event on any other application. The other nice feature about this app is if you come down here to settings, you can manage accounts and add additional accounts to synchronize with the Microsoft Calendar app. And you'll notice that it has mail, calendar, contacts and tasks just like the Outlook client. So rather than having to open your app for your calendar, you can just access it directly here from your taskbar. Tip number 10. Night light. Normally your display emits a blue light, which is what keeps you awake late at night. So there is a feature available in Windows 10 to turn on a night light. Is available by going to Start Settings, System, Display, and here's an option to turn on the night light. When you look at the night light settings, you can adjust the strength of the night light. And you can schedule the night light from sunset to sunrise or set individual hours. When you turn it on, it dims the emitted blue light, which is easier for you to sleep. Night light is a great feature if you plan on working on your computer late at night.